Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Young Park, a program subcommittee chair of the Chicago Public Library's Asian American and Pacific Islander Culture Committee, and also assistant manager of the Literature, Language, and Popular Library of the Harold Washington Library Center. On behalf of Chicago Public Library, welcome everyone. Tonight's program is a part of the 2024 Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month program exploring the theme representation. For more information about the 2024 programs, please visit Chicago Public Library website. Tonight, we are so pleased to welcome Dr. Hee Soo for our program, Türkiye, Diverse History and Culture. Thank you to the Asian American and Pacific Islander Cultural Committee in Chicago Public Library for their support in making this year's programs in Chicago Public Library possible. Dr. Hee Soo, who is a prominent scholar and author of books on Türkiye, is currently in South Korea, so welcome Dr. Lee to the Chicago Public Library's virtual stage now.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm very pleased to meet the valuable audience of Chicago Public Library tonight.
Thank you for coming, Dr. Lee. Could you please introduce yourself to the attendees of our program?
My name is Hee Soo Lee, as a professor of cultural anthropology at the Hanyang University in South Korea, one of the biggest private university. I'm teaching the Turkish history and civilization, also historical relation between Korea and Middle East, particularly nowadays, how Turkish culture was spread to East Asia along the Silk Road. I'm teaching the students since 1995 in Korea. Before coming back home for more than 10 years, I stayed in beautiful city Istanbul. I studied hard and enjoyed the full hospitality of Turkish friends. I got a PhD at Istanbul University between the culture and historical relation of Turkey and East Asia. Then I have the teaching experience in Istanbul Marmara University as an assistant professorship. Yeah.
Wow, you taught in the Turkey University. It's interesting. Thank you so much. So throughout your career, you have published books about Turkey in Korean, in English, and even in Turkish. Chicago Public Library is lucky to have some copies in our collection as well. Can you introduce your book to our readers?
I'm very pleased. My book is in the Chicago Public Library. I already published more than the 90 books, mostly in Korean languages, including the Arabic, Persian, and Turkish version, of course. The couple English version I have. My recent book on the Turkish history and civilization through museums, entitled Discover Turkish Civilization Through Museums in Korean Turkish 박물관 산책, is quite popular and attractive. In the book, I introduced the diverse and overlapping civilization and cultures from Turkey, the early civilization of Anatolian Peninsula, including Göbekli Tepe Sanctuary. It was excavated recently, dating back 12,000 years ago. Until now, more than 6,000 copies sold out. It's quite well-known and quite successful for me.
Oh, wow, that's amazing that you published over 90 books about Turkey. Is Turkey popular in Korea? Why did you become interested in Turkey? And what activities are you doing in relation to Turkey?
When I was young and as primary school students, my father and uncle always telling about the Korean War. As you know, well, it happened from 1950s till 1953. As a result, the war cost the Korean peoples more than 2 million the human casualty and devastated my country, particularly the separation of 10 million 10 million families, partly North Korea, partly South Korea. The son and daughters in South, they don't have any communication whether their father and mother-in-law is still alive or dead. This is the very tragic the histories we're living in daily life. So during the Korean War, more than 15,000 soldiers deployed to the Korean Peninsula to defend the freedom of liberty of South Korea against the communist attack from North Korea. Of course, we always extend the deepest gratitude to 36,000 American soldiers who were sacrificed during the Korean War to defend my homeland. Turkish soldiers too very bravely fought to defend my country against the enemy with more than 800 human victims, but I didn't know the fact during my childhood. That is why, under this background, I decided to go to Istanbul, the Istanbul University, after passing the government scholarship exam. So after coming for more than 10 years, I stayed in Istanbul, and after getting PhD, and I came back home in 1995. At the same time, as one of the experts who understand Turkish history and civilization, I am serving as a Secretary General of Korea-Turkey Friendship Association, inviting many Korean war veterans from Turkey, giving scholarship to children of Korean veterans, also giving a lot of the scholarship to Turkish students who studying in Korea. Also, we organize a lot of cultural event, exhibition, and the annual visiting Turkey. I organize so many the Korean delegations, business circles, and cultural circles to understand Turkey more the friendly atmosphere.
What is Turkey's unique geopolitical location? What does it mean?
Mm. You see, as the map, Turkey is very strategically, geopolitically the important the position to the north, connecting to the European continent, is Bulgaria and Greece, and to the east, they have a boundary with Russia, Georgia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan, and extending to Central Asia. And to the south, the connecting to Iran, Iraq, Syria. This is most the vital junctures Turkey is positioned. This is very important. At the same time, the cultural identity of Turkish people is always there, the confusing. I'm always asking them, who are you? You are Asians or Europeans? Because only 3% of connected to European continent, another 97% is the Asian continent. They always telling to me, we are Asian origin. Our
Interesting.
body, our body and spirit from Asia, but I'm wearing the European overcoat.
Yeah. So in that way, so DEI is an important issue in our lives today. And Turkey appears to have practiced diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout its history. Could you please tell us about the history of Turkey and the lesson learned from it?
Yes, for the ethnic history of Turkey, you look at the map, just before 4th century until 11th century, during the first 1,000 years from Asia, Hun, Göktürk, Uyghur, and Uyghur, they lived together with the Koreans as neighbors. Then they migrated to Anatolian, modern Anatolian. They established the Seljuk and Ottoman and modern Turkey. It means first 1,000 years they lived in Korean as neighbors. We call the Ural Altai language groups. It means the Turkish people speaking similar to languages, similar to Korean languages. And that's why I am very easily understand Turkish languages as Koreans. But this modern 1,000 years, they mixed in the Europe. If you see the map, the huge Turkish empire from the Far Eastern to the Caspian and northern Black Sea, they have established the huge countries.
Very, very interesting. So since the history of the Turkey, they had to accept all different religions and cultures and people, right?
Yeah, Turkey, we can call the encounters of Europe and Asia was the cradle of human civilization with more than 12,000 years long history. At the same time, Turkey is a cradle of Greek-Roman civilization, interestingly, in terms of history, literature, mythology, medicine, and philosophy. For example, the Greek historian Herodotus, he's from Asia Minor, modern Turkey. The great writer Homerus, is the author of Iliad Odyssey. He's from Turkey.
Wow.
You see, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, he studied Pergamon, Asclepian hospitals in Turkey. You see, father of philosophers is Thales. He also from Miletus school of the modern Turkey. So most of scholars and philosophers and the intellectuals migrate to Athens, Greece. So they became strong foundation to flourish of the Greek civilization. It means without understanding Asia Minor of modern Turkey, it is not easy to fully understand the Greek-Roman civilization. Also, during the Ottoman Empire, more than 600 years, the empire showed the model of diversity, equity, and inclusion and belongings to human society. Particularly, the Turkish people regarded Korea as bloody brothers. This is very the exciting what they call insight how Turkish people love Koreans. It's they call bloody brothers. It means same Ural Altai groups, more than 1,000 years they live together as neighbors. The lastly, Turkey is a country of rich recipe and delicious cuisine, Turkish delights, and kebab.
Can you recommend the most attractive tourist destination to see diversity in Turkey?
You can find more than 12,000 years long cultural civilization history. Even in the Haran, near the what you call boundary to Syria, the 2014, as you see in the pictures, the archaeologists excavated the Göbekli Tepe, which established the sanctuary 12,000 years ago. These hunter-gathering areas, how they established the beautiful temples with the pillars with the dynamic and vivid relief of wild animals. The unbelievable is a civilization they built the 12,000 years ago. we call Göbekli Tepe. Then 10,000 years ago, even you can find the Chatar Hill, this kind of a planned city with 8,000 population. Even 10,000 years ago, the number of community is 8,000 population is a great and huge culture and civilization they already possessed. All this kind of the cultural heritage and legacy and mythology you can find, I strongly recommend the archaeological museum in Istanbul. You can find all the artifacts excavated from the archaeologists in the one from ancient time till Greek Roman period you can find. The most attractive artifact in the Istanbul Archaeological Museum, you can find Alexander the Great sarcophagus. This is stone tombs. You see how these sculptures, this is living sculptures with colorful design. This picture is my favorite, the artifacts in the archaeological museums. The Greek sculpture at its finest, you can see the face with this deep sorrow and agony, who lost her husband. Is describe the Alexandro Great, the Sacropolis. During the Ottoman Empire for 600 years, the empire expanded till Europe, till Hungary and Wien, to the west until Morocco and Algeria and Middle Eastern continents. They controlled the three continents and controlled the Mediterranean, Caspian Sea, Black Sea, and Persian Gulf. In the old Ottoman Empire, these relics and heritage well preserved in Topkapı Palace Museum in Istanbul. Oh, you can find an amazing treasure with the 180 carat diamond and
Wow.
20 pure gold and artifacts. Particularly for the women visitors, never want to leave from the museum. So hours they staying.
Could you show us the coexistence of two cultures and then the two different times? Do you want to tell us some example like Saint Sophia Church?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you see, during the 600 years Ottoman Empire, how the empire that can be continuous until 20th centuries. The basic spirit of the governance is diversity and coexistence of Ottoman Empire. The most important system is millet. The millet system means non-Muslim minority religious communities. Of course, millet system has its roots from dhimmi system in early Islamic period. According to Islamic tenets, Christian and Jewish peoples, they regarded as the same people of Bible. We call in Arabic and known as dhimmi. They are allowed to practice their religious freedom under condition of paying the poll tax and military exemption tax. They have the three main millet in Ottoman Empire: the Orthodox Christians and Armenian millet and Jewish millet. You see the picture. This is a Galata Tower in Istanbul, the famous Turkish Jewish community. When I was made anthropological research during my PhD candidate, so I made interview many Jewish shop owners in Galata district during the Ramadan, with the fasting months. The most of the Jewish community, they doing fasting with Muslims. This unbelievable is rituals. I'm asking, you are Jewish. You have your own religious rituals. For example, Yom Kippur, and you have your own fasting. Why are you following the Muslim religious rituals? They replied me, 99% of my customers are Muslims. They doing fasting to share friendship, brotherhood with the needy, the poor, the oppressed. To respect my customers, our community have decided to follow the same Ramadans. This is beautiful coexistence harmony. Still in Istanbul, you can see the beautiful synagogue, the daily life without any oppression, any threat. More than 500 years, they keep continue their religious and cultural ethnic identity in 99% of Muslim community. Propilo and Alarico, the big companies, the Jewish companies, still the ranked number 2, number 3 among 10 biggest company groups. Also, you can see the Cathedral of Greek Orthodox Patriarch in Istanbul. The center of Orthodox Patriarch, not in Athens, Greece, still preserved in Istanbul without any conflict, any hostility. This is why the old Istanbul is a symbol city of diversity and coexistence, harmony, and inclusion. So the UNESCO designated Old Istanbul as UNESCO cultural heritage to preserve common human values. This is one of the most the beautiful. The architecture masterpiece of Saint Sophia. This established the 5th century during the Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. This is a church of a Greek Orthodox Patriarch. You can see the inside. Can the Virgin Mary with Jesus Christ at the same area. Some Arabic you can see. The right side is Allah, left side is Muhammad. Islam and Christianity with beautifully harmonized in one churches. I never seen that kind of the symbolic model in other countries. This means Istanbul is a cradle of the religious and culture, the mixture and coexistence. So that is why I love Istanbul very much. So whenever I flying to Istanbul. You see just the 200 meters distance between Hagia Sophia, it means Saint Sophia, and you can find the Sultan Ahmed Mosque. One is a Christian symbol and Islamic symbol is what they call side by side, so 200 meters distance. This is Istanbul. Istanbul is the very attractive point to visit. Another my recommendation to visit is Ephesus. You can see in Ephesus, the ancient Greek Roman city, very well preserved. This is the library of Ephesus. We call the Celestus the library. This is the many university libraries, they models from this Ephesus Seleucus library. You can see this is what they call Nike goddess in Ephesus. Nike we call Nike. Nike original pictures you can find in Ephesus temples. So even in Ephesus, just 2 kilometers distance, you can find the Maria house, what they call the Virgin Mary lived this house until her passing away. So Pope Johann II designated the Marian house at the holy places. So every year, the August 15th, many Christians is visit and commemorate the Virgin Mary's the life. This Ephesus. You see, so is natural beauty that just is Park told us Hierapolis is Pamukkale. It's how beautifully the preserved natural beauty is strongly recommend. It's Hierapolis we call it's Pamukkale. This is a beautiful sunset, the pictures of Pamukkale. Also in the Mediterranean area, you can find the beautiful Antalya. Even this Antalya, 1 hour distance, you see the Santa Claus. This is a real person. We call the Saint Nicholas. He lived in the southern part of Turkey, near the Antalya. The Santa Claus churches and his house is still well preserved. Is deserved to visit the we call the Mira County of the Antalyan, the big cities. Also in Konya, don't miss to visit the Maulana museums in Konya. This is great Sufi leader and thinkers of 13th century. By the wheeling dance, they created the channel to meet, to be oneness of God. This Islamic spiritual branch of its performance. We call the Sema dance. The founder of Sema dance is Sufism of Islam. The founder is Maulana Rumi. Is well commemorated in his the Konya Maulana museums. And lastly, don't miss the Cappadocia, the underground city. You see the underground, you can find 18 stories, the big city, more than 15,000 people live underground. You can find the winery and churches and cemeteries and storage. Quite complete different style of way of life in ancient times in the underground. It's a very unique place that you can find. Also, the place was designated UNESCO World Cultural Heritage. So many things, yeah, you can find.
I have to go back to the shelf and then I have to check out your book to read.
Yeah.
Okay, today's program will end soon. What would you like to say to conclude today's program?
Yeah, in the area of conflict, war, refugees, and forced migration, unfortunately, but the spirit of diversity, the equity and inclusion are strongly needed more than ever. In this regard, the historical lessons of the Ottoman Empire and the symbolic harmony of Turkey have much to teach us in the contemporary world.
Great, great. Do you want to teach us some Turkey greetings in Turkish? For example, what is the thank you or hi
Ah,
in general in Turkey?
you see, thank you. Just
Mhm.
teşekkür ederim. It's quite,
Teşekkür
quite
ederim.
difficult. So is sağ ol.
Sağ
Sağ,
ol.
this günaydın means good morning.
Mhm.
Günaydın, good morning. Hi, hello is merhaba. Only three words is enough. Merhaba, 그래서 hello, hi, merhaba, teşekkür ederim, thank you, and günaydın, good morning. Then you can promote 5-6 words more.
So, Saul, Dr. Lee, thank you so much,
Thank you
Dr.
very
Lee.
much. Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So thank you for everyone joining us today. You can find Dr. Lee's book and more about Asian culture and history in the Chicago Public Library. Please visit Chicago Public Library branches in your neighborhood or visit Chicago Public Library website to explore more.